I was wrong, I messed up, and now you're gone. Mary, I'm sorry I neglected you. Oh, I never expected you to run away and leave me feeling dead at me.
On the 19th of December 1972, the Apollo 17 capsule splashed down in the Pacific Ocean. Inside were the last men to ever walk on the moon. After America won the space race, public interest in the Apollo missions was already at an all-time low. This was one of the reasons Apollo 18 to Apollo 20 were cancelled. So in an effort to reignite enthusiasm, especially among younger generations who might one day become astronauts, the guys at NASA began looking for new ways to inspire people about space exploration.
Holla get dollar. John Madden.
Moonbase Alpha provides a realistic simulation of life on a natural satellite. Released back in 2010, you may know it better by the sound of its text-to-speech program called Deck Talk. This feature alone defined the greatness of this game, without which there wouldn't be dozens of videos on YouTube with millions of views and amazingly written and painstakingly copy-pasted songs. It is very much a niche game. Many more people watched YouTube videos of it rather than have played it. At least going by SteamDB, the peak player number was a bit less than 1500, and that's 15 years ago. Today it hovers around 1 or 2 players a day, although sometimes there's a spike. Coincidentally, a version of the same text-to-speech program was used by Stephen Hawking. So a bit of history first. Moonbase Alpha was supposed to be the precursor to Astronaut, Moon, Mars and Beyond, later known as Starlight Astronaut Academy, a now cancelled MMO in development at the time with support from NASA by Wisdom Tool Enterprises, Virtual Heroes and Project Wildcard. Starlight was first announced in 2011, described as a 3D avatar community around the fictional depiction of the year 2035. Where players would learn about real-life NASA missions and play through single-player and multiplayer activities. Starlight launched as a Kickstarter project in 2011, exceeding its goal of $25,000 by raising about $46,000. The game was in development for iPhones, PCs and select consoles, with an estimated release date of 2012. Project Wildcard intended to release sections of the game as spin-off modules, with the full game set to release in 2015. All of the Starlight spin-offs received poor reviews on Steam, and we'll get into them a bit later. Project Wildcard went on to develop Star Rangers XE from what's left of Starlight. Unfortunately, Star Rangers ended up being abandoned in early access on Steam. One thing I had to mention, when I was doing research on this, I went to the website of Project Wildcard, and in the About Us section, when you mouse over the staff, they give you a big smooch. In January of 2014, they released the first spin-off module called Starlight Astronaut Rescue. It was described as a single-player 20-minute mini-adventure set on Mars, and players who purchased the game would be guaranteed a spot in Starlight Astronaut Academy beta test. The game received poor reviews from players and currently has a rating of mostly negative on Steam. And then there's G-Ball, which was released on Steam in July of 2014 to poor reviews. What even is this? All that being said, it's a shame that Starlight didn't work out. It sounds like a game I would try. So what do you actually do in Moonbase Alpha? Your task is simple. Stop screwing around with the text-to-speech long enough to fix whatever is broken, so that the astronauts in the settlement don't die of vacuum poisoning. Easier said than done though. The time constraint isn't anything to sneeze at. Some equipment is more damaged than others, and it's generally worth it to just replace more damaged pieces instead of repairing them. All the tools you need can be taken from the tool shed. You can load up the tools and the replacement parts on the rover and drive it around. That's assuming someone hasn't already flipped the rover over while spelling pee-pee poo-poo in moon dust. Oh, and watch out for moon hauntings. A player can enter the command center where he can control unoccupied vehicles and also use cameras to observe other astronauts and annoy them with text-to-speech. Or you can use the NBA OS, On it, you can play text adventures. There's 2 games to play while everyone around you dies from lack of oxygen. There's Text Island Alpha, where you are a survivor of a crashed airplane on a deserted island, or Moonbase Alpha, where you play Moonbase Alpha inside Moonbase Alpha. 90% of the work is still fixing stuff up though, and there's a lot of things that need fixing. The first thing you want to fix is in the options menu. For some reason, the text-to-speech isn't automatically on when you first start the game. You need to turn that on, and then you need to learn how to use it. You can simply write anything and it will voice it out. But there are tricks. You can change the pitch, volume and other stuff nobody understands. In the guides section of the community hub for the game, you can learn everything you need to know about text-to-speech. But if you really can't get a handle of it, just copy the entire thing line by line, numbers and all. Unfortunately, you can only copy one line by one line. Have fun! If you don't get to it in time, sometimes a coupler can explode and die. If this happens, it will need to be replaced. The hoses will need to be reattached and wrenched into place, wasting a huge amount of time if you're playing in competitive mode. It's usually a good idea to get them fixed up first. You can't get to the power distributor because the gases it emits are hazardous to your spacesuit, I guess. So you need to get a robot to fix that part. Some pieces of it are missing entirely and some are badly damaged. There are 2 types of robots, a robot with a grabber arm and one with a welding torch. The grabber does the grabbing and the welder does the fixing. Once you get at least some power to the distributor and fix it up at least a bit, the oxygen slowly starts getting produced. You win the game only after you get the oxygen to 100% in the settlement, which goes faster the more stuff you fix. It's simple stuff, you just gotta watch out for space madness. So aside from the normal daytime map, there's also a nighttime map. In this one, you and your space buddies are afflicted with space dementia, and you need to fix your side of the base and send out a distress signal before the enemy team does. You do this by doing the exact same things you do in the daytime map, only this time you're being watched. And I don't mean by the other team.
Why no pizza?
Other than that, as you can see, the UI is absolutely gigantic, but such is the case with many older games. The targeting crosshair is so huge and useless that you would probably be better off just eyeballing stuff and not using it at all. If you take one thing away from this video, it should be that humans are silly creatures, and wherever we go, we bring our silliness with us. So never kill yourself, I guess.
I was strolling on the moon one day, in a merry, merry month of December. Now, May, when much to my surprise, a pair of bunny eyes. Oh, is this a neat way to travel? Isn't it great? Dum-da-dum-dum-dum, dum-da-dum-dum-dum.